Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Politi-tics on a Saturday night. What's happening, everybody? I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and tonight we're getting down deep in the weeds, baby. We're going all the way into the Epstein files and how Donald Trump is tripling down on nonsense and expecting us to buy into it, which is a weird thing for him to do. It's weird, but I have an answer. I have a hypothesis as to why this may be happening, and other things. Whatever else you guys want to talk about. How are you? Kevin, you're first in chat. You get the gold star. What's up, my buddy? Kevin says, hello, Jake and Amanda. What's up? And Debbie's here. She says, hello, everyone. Hello, sweet Debbie. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. I have a lovely hot cup of coffee here that soothes my aching, weary voice. Don't you want to have a cup with me? If so, go to the kitchen, pour yourself up a nice hot soothing cup, and let's get to talking. If you don't have a cup, though, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It has my face on it. It is fantastic. Also, we have stainless steel tumblers down there with locking lids, the big ones and the little ones, with the UntetheredLive Bible Study logo on the front and all the platforms on the back. It looks great on your coffee table, and it holds your coffee hot for hours. I have a cup of coffee this morning that lasted for 4 hours, and it was still hot. Wonderful. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box. If you want to show a little bit of love, though, you want to throw a little clang-a-lang in my pocket, help me pay my phone bill or something like that, if you want to, you can do that at CashApp, $JakeJohnsonband. I greatly appreciate that. One last thing. If you would like to hang out with everybody here and, have a place that you can go to outside of the YouTuberverse, outside of my oppressive misreading of everything that you read and YouTube censoring everything we say and all that good stuff, you can do that over at facebook.com/UntetheredLive chillin'. The link is in the chat. It is a great place to hang out where the ladies share all kinds of hilarious memes and such. Go check it out. You won't regret it. And now on with the show. Amanda says, hi, UntetheredLive family. Good to see y'all. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody is doing good. Hi, Jake. How are you tonight? Fantastic. I am fantastic. Couldn't complain. I mean, I could complain, but it wouldn't do any good. Let's try it. I can't talk. I can't sing. I can't stand. I can't sit. I'm sickly. I'm so broke I can't afford to pay attention. Does that do anything for anybody? I didn't think it was. Okay, I'm doing great. Let's move on. Kevin says, hello, Debbie. And Amanda says, here's your gold star, Kev. You deserve it, my friend. It looks good on you. And Amanda says, hi, Kevin, Debbie. And Debbie says, hi, Kevin, Amanda, and Jake. Hi, nice to see you. And here's the link to the Facebook page. If anybody wants to go check that out, it's fantastic. You will not regret visiting it. You will come away with a different point of view. You will come away with a smile. How about that? Kevin says, how is everyone tonight? Well, I'm just great, Kevin. How are you, buddy? Debbie says, full of piss and vinegar and ready to fight. How are you, Kevin? Just how I like it. You go, girl. Me too. And Amanda says, LOL, Debbie. And Kevin says, well rested. That's a good thing, Kevin. I slept all day today. I got up 3 times. I got up to pee. I got up so the dog could pee. And I got up to pee again. And that's it. I slept all day long, and I needed it. I was in desperate need of some rest. Because it's been a long couple of weeks. Those extra 4 shows is killing me. It ain't really killing me. It's just more no resting time. You know how it is. And I got spray adhesive all over my glasses, and I can't read. That's better. There. Let's see if we can not see a bunch of blur now. Kevin says, Amanda, don't let Debbie kick my ass. You ain't got to worry about that. We'll let her beat on you, but we won't let her kick your ass. Amy Elizabeth says hello. Hello, Amy. Thank you very much. That was beautiful. And did you solve your audio issues? Kevin says, hello, Amy. And Amanda says, hi, Amy. And Amanda says, you like it, Kevin, when Debbie beats on you? Most of us do. Most of us do. Kevin says, LOL. Amy says, liked, shared, and invited some friends. Fantastic. Maybe Lady B and them will come back in tonight. And Sue. Kevin says, Amanda, does Jake play the harmonica? Somewhat. I'm not good at it, but I can, I can do a little bit. I'm not a wind instrument kind of guy, as you might could tell. I don't have a lot of control over my breath these days. So I don't do a lot of wind instruments, but I do know how to play a little bit of saxophone, a little bit of trumpet, a little bit of harmonica. That sort of thing. In the pursuit of learning to play music, I've brushed shoulders with those instruments. I can also play the Jews harp, which, contrary to popular belief, is not juice harp, it's Jews harp. Bang diddy bang diddy bang diddy bang diddy. Yeah, one of those. Amanda says he can. Aaron, what's up, my brother? Aaron says, sharpening my troll sword. Nice. Get it out. We're going to need it tonight, I'm sure. Already 89 views. Come on, people. I dare you. Challenge me. You've already kicked 2 people out? Oh, wow. Go, girls. Amanda says, hello, Aaron. Angela's here. She says, hello, all. Hello, sweet Angela. Angel Eye. Nice to see you. Amanda says, hi, Angela. And Kevin says, hello, Aaron and Angela. Aaron says, what up, Amanda? Angela says, Amanda, hello, beautiful. And Aaron says, Sir Kevin. Looks good with that wrench wrapped around your name, sir. Angela says, hello, Kevin. Amy says, hi, Amanda, Kevin, Debbie, Aaron, Angel, and Dodie. Hello, Dodie. I didn't see Dodie come in. Did I miss one? I don't see her. I don't see him. I'll take your word for it. Amanda says, I got my peppermints and I'm ready for the trolls, too. Lynn Hudson, like, subscribe, and give you money. Sure, I'll take it. How you doing, Lynn? Welcome to the show. Are you expecting me to turn it down if you offer it? Sure. Is it a big problem to ask you to like and subscribe, considering that you are actively on YouTube right now, watching my video that I created with the time out of my life and my money and my effort? Sure. I think it's apropos to ask you to reach up and touch a button for free. Yeah, that'd be lovely. And if you wanted to donate, you could do that at $JakeJohnsonBand on CashApp. But you don't have to. This is a free show. You will get everything the donators get. Whether you're good enough to give money or not. Does that answer your question? Dodie Estes says, good evening, y'all. Hello, Dodie. There you are. Aaron says, hi, pretty Amy. And Amy says, hi, Jake. Angela says, hello, by a great and beautiful friend, Amy. Nice. Heart. SRB. I'd watch that language if I were you. I'm not racist, but I really hate stupid people. So you could add yourself to that list. Amanda says, hi, Lynn, welcome. See, you already got friends, and you come in blazing with an attitude. Don't that make you feel a little less than adult? Aaron says, Lynn, say hello. It works better. That's how you introduce yourself to strangers. Hello. Hi, I'm Lynn. That works. Amanda says, hi, Dodie. And Kevin says, hello, Lynn and Dodie. Angela says, hello, Dodie. Heart. Aaron says, good to see you, Angela. Random AF. Watch your mouth. I'm in my country. Idiot. Amy says, SRB, he's not a racist. He hates everybody. You can't just look at someone and make an assumption. Jake's not a racist. He hates everyone equally. That's my girl. You tell him. Angela says, I'm that broke, but when I'm not, I will tithe to you much more. It's coming. Angela, you can sit here all day long. You are lovely. That's quite fine with me. You owe me nothing. If you decide you got an abundance of love and God has blessed you, then by all means, add a head on if you wish. But it's entirely between you and God. I do not put a price tag on my time. It's yours. It's already yours. If you want to give me money, please give me money. But you're not buying anything. You got to understand that. I've already given you my time. You already have it. It's free. I will not hide anything from you that I know or do. It's yours. Amy says, random, he lives in the country that he's from. Right. Some people are just idiots. Don't repeat yourself, random. It makes you look retarded. Do you not have any confidence in what you said? Saying it once will suffice. Aaron says, 19 people, 6 likes. Really, people? Push that button. Right, that math ain't mathing up. Angela says, hello, Aaron. Amy says, random, don't spam the chat. Aaron says, hey, Angela. And random got kicked out before. I remember. Dima, hi from my mother, Russia. Hello, Dima. Do svidanya. Nastrovia. Kevin says, hello, Dima. Amanda says, smash that like button, just a tip. Patty says, hello from Tennessee. Peace. Hello, Patty. How are you, sweet lady? Notice a trend here, Lynn and Random? Are you paying attention, my friends? Look closely at what you see. Dima says, hello, Kevin. How are you? Amanda says, yes, Aaron, he has. I has? Oh, the random guy. Yeah. Yeah, he has. I remember that name. Amanda says, hi, Patty. Hang on. My chat jumped. There we go. 840. Thank you. Patty says, Miss Amanda. Aaron says, Amanda, he's about to get it again. And Kevin says, hello, Patty. And Dodie says, we appreciate you, Jake. Heart and prayers. Thank you, Dodie. I appreciate you, too. And there's always going to be some idiots out there that don't understand what they're seeing before them. That's quite all right. I knew that going into this. They're the ones missing out. They're the ones that don't realize that they're turning their nose up at such a beautiful community with such ability to find and retain wisdom and understanding. And they'll be doing that doom scrolling thing and smarting off to strangers for the rest of their lives. They will never get anywhere. And it's a shame, really, because they've dug their own grave. They just don't see it. Imagine how much luckier you are that you took the time to get to know a person. And all that comes with that. And I carry baggage, good baggage. There's good stuff in my bags. Amy says, I've been enjoying the series, Jake. That's everything wrong with Genesis. You can find it in my playlist. It's way back there, but it's there. Thank you. I turned closed caption on and it worked. By episode 8, I could hear. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was a couple of videos that had bad audio because I was working on the microphone thing at that time. And I couldn't quite get it right. but it works itself out, and there's only a few videos. But if you turn the volume all the way up, you can hear it. It's just, you got to have speakers or something because it's kind of buzzy and low. But I'm glad you got it going on. And I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I hope that more people are enjoying it also. It got some views when I did it, but I'm hoping it'll get much more views in posterity. Aaron says, great to see you, Patty. And Amanda says, I already did, Aaron, for 10 minutes anyway. Let's see if he comes back. You already banned him for 10 minutes? Patty says, it's Patty, Kevin. And Linda says, hello, everyone. Well, I call you by your name, Patty, even though it says Wesley. I'm sure they'll jump to a conclusion at some point. Hi, Linda. How are you, sweetie? Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well today. Angela says, hello, Linda. Amy says, double tap the screen to like, or behind the 3 dots to like. Right on. And Patty says, and hello, Kevin. Nice to see you. Aaron says, he always does, Amanda. Come back. Yep. Kevin says, well then, hello, Patty. Eileen Jarvis says, we're just a couple of pimps with no hoes. Speak for yourself, Eileen. I'm a pimp with lots of hoes. Who are you talking to? It's hard out here for a pimp, and I am a hard ass. That sounded better in my head. Moving on. Amy says, Dodie messaged me. Dodie messaged me and said she was watching. I saw her. She said hello. Amanda says, hi, Eileen. Welcome. Patty says, my phone is in need of upgrades, and guess who don't care? I just used my son's. I hear you. Well, Patty, if you need a phone, let me know and I'll get you one. You've been coming here long enough. I'll take care of you, sweetheart. You just tell me what you need and I'll make sure it happens. And if I can't do it, I'll arrange for it to be done. That's the beauty of having a community. When you guys are in need, reach out. I give you my email address. It's in the chat somewhere. Just reach out. I'll make sure you're taken care of. You might not get what you want, but you'll always have what you need. I give you my word on that. The Lord will provide. Or just use your son's phone. He doesn't need it. Amanda says, welcome. And LOL Patty. Amy says, I've been resting today. Me too, all day. I've rested myself sick. I woke up feeling like I had a fever because I slept so hard. Here I am. I've been resting today. I've not done much of anything, and sometimes I need it. I didn't work my side job either. Well, I understand how that goes. There's things piling up around me that I desperately need to get done, and I just don't have the energy to finish it. That's what happens when you burn the candle at both ends for long enough. You run out of ends. But it'll eventually get better. Aaron says, good, Amy, you needed rest. And Linda says, wow, this chat's been jumping, and I'm only 10 minutes late. Right on. They're kicking it tonight. We're already 234 views in, which is nice. I wish more of those 234 people would stay long enough to listen to what we're going to talk about, but whatever. I'll take the views. And Patty says, hi, Miss Amy Elizabeth. Kevin says, hello, Linda. And Amanda says, hi, Linda, hun. Amy says, my left hand is numb today. Oh, I hate that. I go through that too. Just, you got to keep working it and shake the blood back into it and massage it and pull on your fingers and stretch them. Those ligaments get tight and they'll pinch the nerves off. It's in your arm more likely, right in this area. Reach in there and start pulling around and up around your shoulder and see if you don't find a tight spot that hurts when you press it. That's what's causing your hand to go numb. It's either there or in the crease of your neck, right back here somewhere. I live with that constantly. Amanda says, well, rest, Amy. You definitely deserve it. Yes, you're a hardworking lady. You deserve some rest. It is Saturday. It is the Sabbath. So kick back and relax. You're fine. Kent Freeman, welcome to the show. Thank you for your subscription. Patty says, hi, Miss Linda. DJ, watch your mouth. And DJ, if you send me money, I will certainly send you my glasses. Absolutely. How much money are we talking? You go right over to CashApp, $JakeJohnsonBand, and drop in a load that's worthy of my glasses, and I will put them in a nice case. Like this. And I will send it to you. Tonight. I'll drop it in the mail. I'm not bashful in the slightest. Just when you go to Cash App and you send that money, it'll give you an option there to give me a little note. Just write your address in that note, and you'll get my glasses in about 3 to 5 business days. I have more. Aaron says, Amy, switch hands, LOL. Yeah, Amy, sometimes I do that on purpose. You know, sometimes I'll sit on my left hand until it goes numb, and it's like being with a stranger. Amanda says, hi, DJ, welcome. And Amy says, DJ, find out. It's a gamble. Right on. Angela says, I let God decide who gets my tithing, and he chose you. Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. And that's the way you should do it. Always tithe where you are taught. If you don't feel like you're being taught, if you don't feel like you're getting something out of the transaction, you should not be tithing to a place. Never let anybody guilt you into tithing. That's your hard-earned money. If you give it, there should be a reason you're giving it, not just because you feel bad. If you want to, support somebody's work, that's a beautiful reason to give money. Don't do it because they guilted you into it. That's wrong. And I don't do that. I don't participate in the seed doctrine. I'm not ever going to tell you that if you don't give me money, God ain't going to bless you. That's not how God works, and that's not how I work. John H. says, hello, everyone. This be my last night for a bit. I'm having some time away from the internet to get things sorted out job-wise and time with my family. Well, John, I understand that's important. We love you, sir. We'll be looking forward to your return. We love having you here. But take care of your family, always. I'm glad you're feeling up to doing it. Aaron says, DJ, I'm watching you. BLM. What is that? Bicycles limit motorcycles? How much Social Security do you get? I don't get any Social Security. BLM. I'm not a suction cup on society. I don't lay on my tail and whine and expect the government to give me money. I get up and work every day. I don't get any Social Security. What is the reason for your question? How much do you get? You can watch your mouth before I put your food stamps card underneath your work boots. Amanda says, hi, Nugget. And Nugget, don't even think about leaving us forever, buddy. You go take care of your family, but you come back to this channel. We need you, sir. Don't forget, your reason for being here is to get closer to God. And that's why you're here. Melinda Davis says, hi, Kevin, Angela, and Patty, and Nugget, too. Nice. BLM says, my generation is going to strip your Social Security to nothing. That's fine with me, BLM. I'm going to be dead. I don't give a shit what your generation does. You are the stupidest generation that has ever existed, so enjoy. And when you've stripped it to nothing, I'm going to enjoy sitting up in heaven and watching you starve to death. You particularly, because I'm sure you don't have a clue where your food comes from. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this not a you insult me and then I insult you worse? That's what I thought was happening. Bad. Kevin says, hello, John. And Amy says, BLM, you answer first. BLM incidentally stands for Big Lumbering Meathead. You don't know who you're playing with, BLM. If I was you, I'd stand back in awe and keep your mouth shut because you might get the cracking up your ass. You don't know who you're talking to. You're lucky I'm sick or I would have already shredded you to the bone. Amanda says, hi, BLM. None. He works for a living every day. Right. DJ says, my name is Jake Johnson, DJ. Jake Johnson, get it right. My name is a 4-letter word. And whoever banned him or timed him out, let him have his say. I haven't read anything he said that was over the line yet. That's DJ. DJ can talk. You ain't got to it yet. Oh, I hadn't got to it yet. My bad. Sorry, DJ. I had your back and you screwed it up. What's the number? I found it. Never mind. Aaron says, BLM, Billy likes men. Really? Who's Billy? Oh, BLM. Billy likes, never mind. Ha, that's good. Billy likes men. Big lumbering meathead. Bowling lane median. I can do this all night. Amanda says, well, BLM, that's good. He has a job. Right on. What is this man preaching? Says DJ. Well, I'm not preaching tonight, DJ. This is a Politi-tics night. It's in the title. If you read the title of the video you're currently watching, which I don't understand why you didn't see when you clicked on it, you would find out that we're talking vaguely political nonsense. That's why Politi-tics, like lunatics, but with politics. If you want to hear me preach, come tomorrow night. That's a different thing. And then I preach the King James Version Bible and nothing else. Amy says, if you insult the host first, you'll be lit in the corner, and then you're out. Well, I'm a big boy. I can take that. I can take it. Just don't let them talk trash to the ladies. That's what I care about. Demon says, why is he telling me bye in Russian? Because those are the only 2 Russian words I know. And if you didn't like it, delete it from your brain. Aaron says BLM is bacon, lettuce, mayo. Nice. I like it. BLM, boys lose money. Amy says, DJ, Bible study is on Sunday and Monday. Right on. Amanda says, he was being funny, Dima. Yeah, I have a resting bitch face. I understand why you wouldn't get my humor, but it was humor. Well, DJ, I encourage you to come show me that what I teach is nonsense. It's rich that you would have not heard what I've said or what I teach, but assume it's nonsense. That just shows that you're not much of a thinker, are you? I encourage you to come and join the conversation and give me the opportunity to show you that what I say is not nonsense. Unless you are too scared, worried about your little worldview crumbling before your very eyes, which it will. Angela says, BLM, have you left or do you actually want to get to know us first? How about that, BLM? I don't think they do. I think they're just trolls. But that's all right. That's why we're here, to weed out the trolls and find the good ones. There are good ones. This is a thing all the people with wrenches in here need to hear. So pay attention. Wrench people, friends, Internetonians, and lend me your ear. Saturday is a fishing trip. We're fishing. We're fishing for men. That's what we're doing here. We're offering other content in the hopes that we find some good ones. And when we find the good ones, we hang on to them. Then we bring them into Sunday and Monday, and they have a better life as a result. So get your fishing pole out and fish. Look for the good ones. Give them a chance. All of them are sinners. All of them are trolls. All of them are full of nonsense. It's our job to break that down a little and see if there's a human being worthy of saving underneath all of that nonsense. And if there is, they'll come through. They might start out as a troll, but you'll see they'll change their ways. They'll actually listen. Aaron says, DJ, watch this. Come fight you, Grandpa. DJ, let me tell you something. This grandpa would beat your ass and make you beg for buttermilk. You have no idea who you're talking to. And Amanda says, yeah, DJ, what's nonsense? He doesn't know. He's just programmed to say that. That's the limit of his intelligence. Amy says, BLM, baloney, lies, and manipulation. Nice, Amy. BLM, bad lighting makeup. Amanda says, tag team. Aaron says, sir, you have been beheaded. Damn it, man. Patty says, well, John, I hope you get some rest, and may the Father bless you with his good health. Blessings. Peace. Amen, Patty. Thank you. Kevin says, Saturday night is the night of the trolls. Yes, it is. Notice not one of them wants to talk about politics. I don't know why I try. I should just change the name of the show to troll beheadings. Amanda says, yep, Kevin, LOL. Angela says, Kevin, dang trolls. Aaron says, little do he know, Grandpa would whoop that ass like he skipped school and he was his daddy. Oh, yeah. Amy says, I'm trying to market your show. I saw that. Thank you very much. I appreciate your efforts. And it's doing good. I've seen quite a few people already responding to your efforts. Don't get discouraged because they don't believe. That's going to be the case all the time. Or most of the time. And you got to be strong enough to withstand that because there's a lot of people out there that don't know the truth and have no way of finding out what the truth is. And it's a crapshoot as to whether or not they'll trust me to tell them the truth. You just have to wait and see. Amanda says, that's facts, Aaron. I mean, the damage may be too late. It may be too much damage. It may not be possible to pull masses of people back from the edge. I don't know. I've been watching this world go down the drains for a long time. I don't see it getting better. So I might be toiling in vain here, just trying to bring some sense to the world. I don't know. All we can do is what we're told to do or led to do, and that's what I'm doing. I have no illusions that it'll work. Amy says, Kevin has a wrench now. Yes, he does. Kent Freeman says, how's it going? Hello, Kent Freeman. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you, where you're from, and what do you like to talk about, sir? Amy says, hi, Kent. Welcome. Kevin says, hello, Kent. Amanda says, hi, Kent. Welcome. What a lovely welcome you're getting, Kent. Linda says, hi, Kent. And Dodie says, I'm thankful Amy Stancombe introduced me to your show, Heart. Me too, Dodie, and I'm glad you're here. And I hope to keep you. I hope you stay here for a long time. Aaron says, did Jake just quote Hustle and Flow? Yes, I did. I'm way cooler than I look on TV, Aaron. Amanda says, he does, Amy. And LOL, yes, Aaron. Kent says, hi, everyone. Nice to see you, Kent. Thanks again for the subscription. I hope you find something you enjoy here. We do a lot of things on this show, 5 nights a week. 2 of those nights are Bible study. Angela says, hello, Kent, heart. And Amanda says, Aaron, Jake had big D energy and is a pimp. It's hard out here for a pimp. Amy Elizabeth says, Hustle and Flow, Terrence Howard, good movie. Terrence Howard, very intense thinker. Not exactly correct, but he's on the right track anyway. Aaron says, I didn't know Jake was up on that. I mean, I'm not. That's not my thing, but I diversify. I look into all things. Chad Coffee, I like your name. I have coffee right here on my desk. Welcome to the show. He says, that's the kind of mustache that would make Chuck Norris proud. I have a fist up under that mustache, too. So thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. My mustache thanks you as well. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron. He will surprise you sometimes. I do that. Amy says, hi, Chad. Hi, Chad. Aaron says, I knew Jake and I were related. I don't like a lot of black movies. It's not because of the black people, though. It's because of the poor writing. Some of them are really good. I've really enjoyed a few of them. Like Hustle and Flow or anything Denzel Washington is in. Some of the Spike Lee stuff back in the 90s. Some of it was a little overboard, but some of it was pretty good. That sort of thing. Linda Davis says, hi, Chad, welcome. And Amanda says, hi, Chad, welcome. Amanda says, yes, Chad, it is. His mustache is sexy. Thank you. I'm blushing. You just can't tell because of the riz that's being put off by the mustache. Kevin says, hello, Chad. Angela says, I made dinner for Mike and his sister, and they are still in the garage drinking. Nice. I'm not a drinker, but dinner is on the stove when they are ready to eat. I hear you. I'm not much of a drinker either, Angela. I appreciate that. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron, a brother from another mother. That's right. Amy says, Angel, we had leftover pork and beans. Aaron says, for life. Mr. Poopy Butthole, 4. Retard. Aaron says, Amy, I like mine with cornbread. Right on. Love me some cornbread. Amy says, it's good you're able to cook again, Angel. I knew it was a goal. Good job. Heart. Right on. Aaron says, Amanda, you smacked them so fast we never saw them. Kent says, I'm recovering from kidney surgery. I came across your channel. It seems like a nice place to be. Well, thank you, Kent, and God bless you, and I hope that kidney surgery recovery goes well and that they fix the problem. And this is a great place. We have a great community here. We have a lot of people that love each other, and we would welcome a new member in at any moment. So come on in and enjoy. See what you find out. You'd be surprised what you'll learn just listening to us chit-chat. Ultimately, though, this show is about you. My goal is to hear what you've got to say. So say it head on, whatever you're thinking. It's fine. You may hear some things you don't agree with. I may say some things you don't agree with. You may say some things I don't agree with. But this is a good place for dialogue. We don't judge. We don't have to agree with each other to be friends. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron, shit like that pisses me off. Yeah, it does. Amy says, my internet is slow tonight. Well, kick it in the tail. Aaron says, it was a crap name. Literally. Amanda says, prayers for a speedy recovery, Kent. And yes, we are a family here. Welcome and enjoy. Kevin says, Kent, I hope you stick around, buddy. Amy says, prayers for a quick recovery, Kent. Debbie says, how much for an autographed feet pic, Jake? $200. No. If you want an autographed feet pic, I'll give you one. But I hope you're into toe fungus. Linda Davis says, Kent, I'm glad you're here. I'm struggling with kidney issues as well. I hope you are recovering well. Yeah, that's a rough thing to have to go through, Kent. And we're all here praying for you. If nothing else, we'll be your cheerleader. Angela says, thank you, Amy. I had to take myself off of some of my psych meds in order to be able to, but I have no problem now that I'm more coherent. Well, that's fantastic. Those psych meds, they're not good for you. If they're not directly treating something that, like a seizure or something like that, you shouldn't take those things. You should wean yourself off of them. If they are directly connected to keeping you from having seizures, you should take them. That's what they're for. A lot of people write prescriptions for those things when you ain't got no business taking them, though. That's the problem. Amy says, LOL, hi, Debbie. Autograph feet pic, huh? Amanda says, oh, Nugget, I just read your post, and we will miss you, man. Yeah, I hope you don't stay gone, John. We love you, sir. Aaron says, he should sign the feet pic. Free Jake. Feet Jake. Feet Jake. Aaron says, feet. That's right, Amy. Feet Jake. Amy says, what happened to John? He said he had to go take care of his family and get some rest. Which I understand that entirely, but I hope you're still here listening, John. Amanda says, LOL, y'all can have the signed pictures of his feet. I got his feet, LOL. Aaron says, John, you are loved. Agreed. Fab Daddy says, I'm lurking. Thumbs up. Gotcha. Coffee. Smiley face. Hey, Fab Daddy. Nice to see you, my friend. Aaron says, smiley, smiley. And Amanda says, hi, Fab. Amy says, hi, Fab Daddy. Heart. Kevin says, hello, Fab Daddy. Aaron says, my stomach. Smiley, smiley, smiley. Amanda says, hide your food stamp cards under your work boots. I'm dead. Don't mess with me. I'll hit you where it hurts. That's funny. Sorry, my chat jumped. Fab Daddy says, hi, everyone. Amy says, hit the like button. Don't be a slacker. Remix 40 says, Billy. Johnny. Hello, Remix 40. Amy says, hi, Remix. Amanda says, hi, Remix. Welcome. Aaron says, Remix Billy. Amy says, there are playlists on the channel homepage. Bible study, Politi-tics, chill stream, and everything wrong with Genesis. Go check it out. Yeah, we got a great list of videos, over 1,000 that you can enjoy. Just go check them out. They're all there and they're all free. There's a member section. And I do a show called The Hyperbowl also. It's a very long form comedy show. Hence the name. six episodes currently available. Go check them out. Amy says members only content as well. Right on. Amanda says all the members only content has been sent to public already. Currently. What I do with the members content to make people that pay feel like they're getting something is when I create new content, it goes there first and it stays there for a while. And therefore they get access to it before anybody else does. But at some point it goes public and then everybody has access to it. Amy says, throws ears. Why are you throwing your ears around, Amy? Uh-oh. Lend in my ear. I got it. Aaron says, fish and sharks. Well, kill the sharks. Just bring in them in. Amy said, Amanda says, adjust your earbuds. Adjusting my earbuds. Fab Daddy says, I resemble those remarks. I know you do. But I love you anyway. Angela says, BLM, big loser man. Nice. I guess he got the point. He hadn't said anything else. BLM, busted lip mock-up. Amanda says, trolls are us tonight. Fab Daddy says, I can kickstart the political party. I know you can. I know you can. I'm here. I put a title up. Nobody's mentioned it yet, so whatever. Kevin says, LOL. Amy says, taking a stroll, running through trolls, hoping Jake collects some tolls so he can buy some rolls. Right on. I love it, Amy. That's good alliteration there. Angela says, good rhyme, Amy. Yes. Heart. And I love those. If you know anything about my titling or different things that I've written, I love alliterations. Kevin says, ignorance does not equal stupid. Stupid is when a person is not willing to learn. Correct. Yeah, ignorance is not a sin. Stupidity might be. Angela says, at least Z knows later. At least Z knows later on, I will be picking Mike up off the garage floor. Or at least I know later on I'll be picking garage up off the garage floor or the ground. He gets to drinking and he can't walk with his quad cane at all and falls to the ground. Well, that's terrible. Why would anybody with a quad cane be so drunk they couldn't walk? I reckon if you got nothing to lose, go to Drinky Town, but whatever. I'm glad you're there to take care of him, Angel. Amy says, facts, Kevin. Angel says, I, not Z. What the hell? That's all right, I figured it out. Patty says, Jake, I'm going to accept who the Father uses to bring the mission to pass. Amen. I agree, Patty. I do too. God likes to use broken people. That'll give you an answer as to why me. I don't know why me. He knows why. But he does like to use broken people to achieve his goals. And they are his goals, not mine. All I'm trying to do, and if you've got over 1,000 videos to prove it, all I'm trying to do is give you his word the best way I can. I'm not selling you me. I'm selling you him. Fab Daddy says the whole Epstein ordeal is starting to find its resonance. Once magnified, it will all come crashing down. That's exactly what they're terrified of, Fab Daddy. It even affects good people like Trump. Pardon me. Here's the thing. I don't think Trump is directly involved with Epstein. There are people out there saying that Trump is the deep state and Trump is this, Trump is that. No, he's not. The only reason Epstein ever got arrested in the first place was because of Trump. A lot of people don't know that. But here's the thing. Trump is playing in a world that everyone in it is affected by what Epstein is involved in. And the only way you can effectively play in that world is to allow that to happen, because that's part of that world. It's evil. And that being said, even good people don't want this to come out, because it will, in fact, tear the threads apart that hold this thing together. And that's what's happening. It was never supposed to come out. Remember, if you go back to the 90s, they were doing this stuff in broad daylight. Nobody said a word about it, and everybody was complicit. Everybody. The news media, the people in charge, the cops, everybody. And then Jeffrey Epstein got caught doing something he shouldn't have done. And it went to court. And they tried to sweep it under the rug then. Even had a senator come down and say, this is above your pay grade. He works with the CIA. Let him go. And they did. But that opened a can of worms that nobody wanted opened. And it's been bubbling out ever since. And the thing about the truth is, it will find a way to come out. It always does. You can't hide the truth. You can put a lot of effort into it, but you can't hide the truth. It will come out. And that's what's happening right now. And no matter how hard they try to keep it out of the public eye, the more people are interested in it, to the point where it's going to bubble over, and the whole thing, the whole house of cards, is going to come crashing down. Doesn't matter who it is. You are never going to hear the truth of this, because if it comes out, it destroys everything. Now, it's just like the Kennedy assassination. It's just like Martin Luther King's assassination, Robbie Kennedy. It's like all of them. It's like everything you've ever heard that there's no answers to, like the shooter in Vegas that night a few years back. You're never going to hear that truth about any of that, because that's a game being played that is above you, and you're not privy to the details of that game or the rules of it or the players. You live in this part of society. They live in that part of society, and they're doing things up there we don't know anything about. Believe that. What you know, or what you think you know, is very negligent compared to what's actually out there to know. Walter Davis says, good evening, all. Hey, Walter, nice to see you. Amy says, let him sleep on the floor. He'll learn, Angel. Tough love. Right? Debbie says, the Democrats' platform is the illusion of truth. Tell a lie often enough and long enough that even when presented with the truth, they'll believe the lies. Very true. Well, it ain't just the Democrats. That's the problem. You see, left wing, right wing, same bird. Remember that. Amy says, hey, Walter. Amanda says, hi, Walter. Kevin says, hello, Walter. Linda says, hi, Walter. Amy says, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Nice. Kevin says, Amy, I woke up many mornings on the bathroom floor. I never learned my lesson, LOL. Aaron says, I agree about the movies and the bad writing. I hear you, buddy. Yolanda Smith says, just like the Russian hoax. Yes. Welcome, Yolanda. How are you? The Russian hoax was created by us. And this Epstein thing, what we're going to hear about it, is also created by us. The real truth of the matter, you're never going to hear that. It's never going to come out. Angela says, nah, I can't do that, Amy. What else? What else does Thien have to do? I don't know who Thien is. He smokes cigarettes and watches TV 24/7. And if he wants to drink, I'll be happy to pick him up off the ground. He is basically wheelchair bound forever. I hear you. Amanda says, hi, Yolanda. Welcome. Amy says, geez, the meth heads next door are arguing again. Oh no, did they run out? Aaron says, uh-oh. Fab Daddy says, I don't like taco drawing. I don't like Taco's drawings. He said he don't draw, but he lies all the damn time. So yeah, he's a politician for sure. If you're talking about the letter that came out, that is 100% a Washington Post lie. And you know that because Trump is now suing Rupert Murdoch and the Washington Post because of that lie. And he will win because he didn't do that. That is 100% false. Fake news. And yes, he is a politician for sure. Walter Davis says, I'm going to get you, sucker. That would be Blackula or one of those blaxploitation movies from the 70s. But it's that guy that played Blackula that said it. It might have been Blackula, but I can't remember. I'm going to get you, sucker. I remember the line. I can't remember the name of the movie. Amanda says, fun, Amy. Aaron says, Walter, that movie was funny. Was it Blackula or was it Shaft or something like that? I don't think it was Shaft. Amanda says, LOL. Ab, taco. Is that the best you got? Amy says, hi, Yolanda. And Debbie says, Fab Daddy has fallen for the illusion of truth. Kevin says, who is Yolanda? A new person that just stepped in, said something. Amy says, a taco sounds good right now. You're telling me. Bill Bennett, what's up, brother? He says, hello, Untethered Live family. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you as well. Fab Daddy says, no, baby taco. Kevin says, hello, Bill. Amanda says, hi, Bill. Angela says, who is Taco, Fab Daddy? It's a nickname they tried to give Trump, but the problem is that the Democrats can't meme. They're not smart enough, and they don't have the right sense of humor to be sarcastic. So it didn't stick. Fab Daddy is trying desperately to make it stick. It's not gonna. Amy says, Kevin, a visitor, I think. And Fab Daddy says, Taco is Trump. No. Patty says, a place where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Cheers. Yep, that's kind of like this place. Sit at the end of the bar, I'll slide you a beer. I guess that makes me Ted Danson, huh? Or Woody, or Coach. Which one? Amy says, hi, Bill. And Walter says, he OG Ed. How did he pee with all that shit? LOL. Wow. I have no idea where that movie's from. Amanda says, Angela, the left calls Trump Taco. They say he folds and runs. Yeah, that's their idea of a meme. It doesn't work. They're not any good at it. Adversely, Trump selling t-shirts of the mugshot while he's being mugshotted. That's a meme. Amy says, Patty, everyone knows your name and glad you're here. Smut shop. Debbie says, $200. Let me check the couch cushions. Get them feet pics. Maybe Santa Claus will surprise you. You never know about a fella. You might get lucky tonight, Debbie. Aaron says, oh, that taco thing is kind of funny, though. LOL. Kind of. Amanda says, LOL, Debbie. It's funnier watching them try to make it a meme. It's funnier to do that. and fail at it. Amanda says, LOL, Debbie. Amy says, tariffs are cop-outs. Taco. Nice. Aaron says, ooh, that's a good one. Totally accountable coalition obstruction. Taco. Patty says, I was actually telling the gentleman cursing the channel it's a good one. And it is. Thank you. Fab Daddy says, tacos come one of his favorite shithole countries. He never called Mexico a shithole country. He called Somalia a shithole country. Get your facts right, Fab Daddy. Patty says, cruising down a boulevard, rolling. Kent says, your chat's about to jump and leave you left in the dust. Hold on, Kent. I'll get back up to it just a sec. What's the number? 917. I found it. Kent says, they said my bladder was too far gone to work on. Kidneys the way they want to, and my urethra is short to reach back to the kidneys. To use it right, they can't fix it because the bladder is too far gone. Well, that's terrible, Kent. They don't have a way of putting in a fake urethra, like a implant of some kind. Seems like they could fix that. But the bladder thing, you might have to get something to replace that bladder. I know they can do that. It might be on the outside of your body. You might have to get one of those, like, colostomy bag type things, but for your bladder, I don't know. I don't know anything about that situation, but it's terrible. I'm sorry you have to go through that. We're praying for you. Amanda says, yeah, Aaron, if Trump actually folds and runs, I mean, he gets shot and then stands up and says, fight, fight, fight. No pussy there. Taco my ass. Which is why it's funny, because they're trying to make it look like he's a weakling because they have no actual argument. That's the only thing they've got, is to insult his integrity when they've tried everything else and failed. And they do it with such gusto, like, look how clever we are. We come up with a nickname. Unfortunately, you look like a moron when you even associate yourself with those people. That's terrible. Johnny says, I'm not going forever, just a few weeks. But I love you so much, all of you. Heart, 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 heart. Well, John, we love you too. And seriously, man, do what you need to do. But we're here for you. If you decide you want to come check in on us, we'll be thinking about you and praying for you the whole time because you're one of us. Don't let go of that J tag. We need you, buddy. Amy says, it sounds painful, Kevin. I hope the procedures help. Amanda says, sorry, Kent, prayers for you. Kevin says, Amanda, haters are going to hate. Haters be hating, yo. That's a fact. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Don't hate me because my mustache is beautiful. Walter says, do you know why you never see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're so good at it. I believe that's right, Walter. Very good wisdom in that statement if you think about it. Amanda says, we love you too, Nugget. And Linda says, I don't know how long I'll make it tonight. I overdid it, and I'm in lots of pain tonight. But if I disappeared, I love you all. Heart. Well, Linda, rest, baby. I know you're struggling, and I'm sorry you're in pain. What's most important is you lay back and get them feet up, get the pressure off your back and off your feet, and rest a little. We'll be here. We're not going anywhere. And we love you too. Amanda says, oh, Linda, hun, sorry. Go rest, love. We understand. Amy says, love Linda and John. Fab Daddy says, has anybody seen the new video of the assassination attempt? It shows Secret Service agent bring in cameramen and lowering the flag. It looked almost staged. It's because it was. I have not seen that. I would like to see that, though. But 100%, there's something behind that assassination attempt. And it was not organic. I don't know who that guy worked for. I don't know who was responsible for the actual orders that made that happen. But I assure you, 100%, that they were trying to get rid of the opposition so they could win because they're scared of that guy. That ought to be reason enough to back him because the wrong people are scared of him. Scared enough to try and kill him. Amy says, LOL, Walter. Suhail Ajit. Watch your mouth and don't spam the channel. And that'd be the biggest mistake Diddy ever made was to find me under a rock. I promise you that. Kevin says, I need to refill my coffee. I hear you, Kevin. Me too. Or work on getting my own magic cup, coffee cup. I know, right? Well, if you play your cards right, I know a beautiful lady named Debbie that's looking for a man just like you. May or may not be named Debbie. And I'm sure she knows how to wield a coffee cup, too. But she's also kind of interested in my feet, so it may be a no-go. I don't know yet. We'll work on it. Amy says, it's not staged, Fab. My friend, a Navy intelligence agent, has already debunked it. Debunked what? The assassination attempt or the video that he's talking about? Walter says, see you tomorrow, Linda. Kent says, then the government cut my cash assistance off before they passed my SSD due to being ran over at 67 miles per hour on 5/23/24, and my memory and right leg ain't been the same since. Thanks to my better half, we make it. I hear you. We make do. I hear you, Kent. Well, God bless your better half. Times are hard out there for everybody right now. You just hang in there and stay strong. And know that the Lord has your back. Patty says, who's Diddy and what is he looking for? P. Diddy is a rapper that got in trouble for, liking the younger girls and doing stuff with them and other things. He's the Hollywood version of Epstein, put it that way. Amanda says, Patty, P. Diddy, he's a rapper in the news. Aaron says, he's a rapper, Patty. And Fab Daddy says, get your freak on at a freak party. Yeah, right on. I let my freak flag fly every now and then. I myself am a pervert. I was perverted in my younger days, but now I'm a pervert. I mastered it, that's why. Aaron says, LOL. Fab Daddy, that's funny. Debbie says, Fab Daddy, if Butler was staged, do you think the murder of the man in the crowd was planned too? Ooh, nice question. And when I say staged, I don't mean that the whole thing was a put on. What I mean is that Trump was doing a rally organically and somebody had it out for him. That's what I mean. I mean, some random 18-year-old kid didn't just decide to assassinate the president, front runner. There's something behind it. That's what I mean. Amanda says, I'd leave his ass right where he falls down and passes out. I don't like drunks at all. Well, damn. And Linda says, Kent, you are blessed to have someone by your side to help. God has your back. Put it in his hands. Amen. Thank you, Linda. Patty says, is Mr. Diddy a diversion to certain people? Probably. That wouldn't surprise me either. Most things that you see in the news are calculated, carefully crafted facades placed right in front of your face and repeated often. And when you see people repeating things, you know that it's handed down from somebody higher up and that it's part of the narrative. That's the thing I'm trying to break with my channel here as much as I can on YouTube, people who are part of the problem. I try to tell the truth and make people think, say things that are contrary enough they start to think. And in their questioning what I'm saying, in their arguing with me, they begin to think. And sometimes something rattles loose and they go, oh, maybe that's why he thinks that. Oh, I didn't see it that way before. Oh, there's an angle I hadn't thought about. And then it starts to crumble. And when it crumbles, you begin to understand that you've been lied to like a mushroom your whole life. Fed bullshit and kept in the dark. And now you're beginning to see light peek through. And if you'll dig and push, you'll stick your head up above the ground just enough to know that everything is bullshit. And it's all part of a narrative. It's all propaganda. It's all out there to lead you so that they can control you for the sake of draining your money from you and other political aspirations. Fab Daddy says, Trump is not a good guy. How do you know? Have you met Trump? Have you spent any time with Trump? Do you know his family? His family looks like good people. He lives a decent life. He's not in any kind of trouble that I'm aware of. How do you know Trump is not a good guy? Are you leading with your heart or with your brain, which has been severely compromised by people you listen to all your life? Because what you're saying is a person you don't know that has a way better life than you and a family that loves him and millions of supporters and followers is not a good person. That sounds a little judgy to me. Do you know Trump's not a good guy? If so, what is your evidence of that? That he has money? What has he done? A specific thing that would make you classify him as not a good guy? Amy says, I'm not a drinker either. When I was active in addiction, it was pain pills and then progressed to something evil. Heroin? I've never been down that rabbit hole, but I've thought about it. I never did call what I did an addiction, though. It was a necessary evil. I had to have something. And it was a something I begrudgingly started doing in my 30s. I spent my whole life dealing with it, but as I crossed the age of 30, it became more and more difficult to function as a normal human being without some aid. So inevitably, I went down that rabbit hole. And it was a choice that I made, and I did it on purpose. It wasn't an accident. Nobody tricked me into it or overprescribed. I went looking for it. I knew exactly what I wanted and exactly where to get it. And I went to get it. And I got it. And I was on it for 20 years. A lot of it. A very high number. Because I have a very high tolerance and I'm very tough. And then it became evident that it was affecting me physically. And so I had to stop that. Because I don't like things having control over me. And so I quit that cold turkey. And it's been about 2 years now. And I'm proud of you, Amy, for kicking it yourself. You stay kicked. You stay strong. Take it one day at a time, and you got this. John H. says, Trump has ordered the files to be reopened through your court system. Yeah. All of the Ghislaine Maxwell trial and the Jeffrey Epstein information from when he went to court has all been opened. So apparently Trump has nothing to hide. But also, Trump has donors, thank you, and supporters. And not only does he, but people he knows has those things. People he does business with has those things. So he can't very well destroy the card house any more than anybody else can. So they're all complicit, whether they want to be or not, whether they knew anything about it or not. Amy says, Patty, you'll need to read up on the case. Aaron says, nope, Diddy is a criminal, like half of the 90s hip-hop world in Hollywood. Yeah, there's definitely more going on than just music. Look up Biggie Smalls. Look up Biggie Smalls. Read stories about him and the people that surrounded him. Look up Tupac Shakur. Look up, P. Diddy. Look up P. Diddy. There's a lot of things going on in that type of music that is not about music. A lot of drug dealing, a lot of body pushing, a lot of high grade criminal activity in Hollywood and in music. Like I told you before, I made it. I made it to the part where I could become famous. The price was too high, and I backed away. What did I mean by that? The price was my soul, and I wasn't willing to pay it. Good gracious. Thank you, Debbie. God bless you, sweetheart. You will receive an autographed picture of my feet. I never thought I would stoop so low. I never thought the world would have a hold on me where I'd have to hoe out my feet. But I've reached. My next stop is OnlyFans. Amanda says he's not a bad guy either. He's better than Newsom and Obama and Biden and Harris and Tampon Tim. Yeah. How about those guys, Fab Daddy? Got anything to say about old Tampon Tim? Or Obama? You think he's a good guy? So let me get this straight. People that work directly for the devil, you're okay with. People that have actual skeletons in the closet are okay in your book. People that use their power to hurt people beneath them, that's all right with you. People that bomb innocent people to death and cage children, that's all right with you. But this guy's got an attitude that I don't like. This guy is an asshole. He is the bad guy. Let's think about that for a minute there, Fab Daddy. Because believe me, if you had anything criminal on Trump, your people would have used it years ago. They don't. That's the reason we're still here right now. That's the reason Trump has been president twice and won 3 elections. Because there's nothing against him that they can use. Debbie says, Fab Daddy, where's your proof that Trump is a bad guy? Because CNN told you? That was my question, right? Amy says, apologies for the typos in advance. That's all right, Amy. Understood. Angela says, wow, Fab Daddy, when did you meet Trump? My roommate and his family knows Trump, and they say he's a great guy. So does everybody that meets him, even people that dislike him like Bill Maher. Even Bill Maher had to say, dude was kind of awesome. Think about that for a minute there, Fab Daddy. Maybe you're on the wrong side of things. Amanda says, yes, Debbie, CNN, MSDNC, ABC, The View. The View is Fab's favorite show. Ouch. Amy says, Trump is a bad guy. Opinion statement, not based on facts. Right. Linda Davis says, by the way, Aaron, you are right. Ladders are evil. Evil. Like the fruits of the devil. They're evil. Like evil Knievel. Evil. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Robert from Michigan, hello and welcome to the show. Robert says, it doesn't destroy everything. It's only going to affect Israel. If you think so, buddy. I hear you, though. You're not wrong. But I assure you, the whole house of cards will come crashing down if they pull on that string hard enough. Epstein is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot of bad things going on under the surface that we don't know anything about. And if they start pulling, they're liable to uncover some things that they didn't ever want to see the light of day. But Israel is not unique in their positions in the world, and they're also not singular in their evil doing. Kevin says, Fab Daddy, when was the last time you walked on water? In other words, you're judging people. You must be the king, because that's his job. Or don't judge people. Amanda says, hi, Robert, welcome. Aaron says, thank you, Linda. It's based on facts. I must have missed something because I don't remember you saying anything about ladders being evil. Unless you guys were talking behind the scenes, in which case I apologize for interrupting. Amy says, hi, Robert. And Fab Daddy says, Angela, there are some contractors that would disagree with Trump being great. He screwed many by not paying his bills. Is that true? Do you know that to be true? Or maybe the contractor didn't do their job satisfactorily. Did you ever think about that? Maybe some contractors don't like somebody that wants excellence in his work and doesn't pay for it when you screw it up. You ever thought about that? Have you ever built anything before? Do you know any of these contractors personally, or is this just something you heard on TV at some point? I'm guessing you don't actually know anybody that has said Trump screwed them out of money. And if you do, who are they? I would like to call them right now and ask their opinion about Trump. I have a phone. I'm awaiting the phone number. Or the name, and I'll look it up and find it myself. Aaron says, we need 2 wings to fly. Then it would be a problem. I couldn't imagine us being able to fly if we had 4 wings. Too fat. And Amanda says, LOL, a billionaire not paying his bills. Please. Amy says, when commenting, please add context. It takes a while for Jake to get to the comments, and we could have mentioned 5 topics by the time he reads it. Thank you, Amy. True. Yeah, tell me what you're talking about. Don't just say a word because I can't read your mind. And I'm following like 50 threads and keeping them straight in my head. Sometimes I get confused. Amanda says, oh, wait. Yeah, a billionaire don't pay his bills because he has an accountant for that. Right. And also, have you ever considered that maybe it was the accountant that didn't pay the contractor for non-satisfactory work? Kevin says, Fab Daddy, do you know any of these contractors? I worked in a demolition field for decades, and they all paid the bills. Fab Daddy says he didn't pay these young dancing ladies during the campaign trail. What young dancing ladies? Who are you talking about? And you do realize that he wasn't running his own campaign, right? He had a campaign manager. Who would have been the person to pay those ladies? Fab Daddy says, Amanda says, lies, Fab. Trump's accountant did, hence campaign money. Debbie says, yes, Jake. Left wing, right wing, same bird. But I've yet to hear a Republican that keeps telling the same lies. Not that it does not happen. I just have not seen it. Right. Well, there are a lot of better people on the Republican side. People that fear God, for example. You'll tend to see more Christians on the Republican side, which is why you see less debauchery and lies. But it's there, I assure you. Politician. You know, that's the whole nature of the game, is to lie your way into something. But that being said, I would take the lesser of two evils every time, because it's better for the country, not because I think they're good people. Also, why do you have to like the president for him to be a good president? Who told you had to like him? I don't care if he's the biggest asshole on planet Earth. I don't care if I couldn't be in a room with the guy. If he is good for the country, he's got my vote. I don't have to sleep with him or hang out with him or have him baptize my kid or anything like that. He's the president. All I care about is, can he bomb bad people, and can he pay for the roads, and can he keep us safe? That's it. That's all I care about. Kevin says, Fab, do you even care about Kamala not paying some people? Yeah, you want to look into people who didn't get paid, go take a gander at Kamala's bills, should you? There are people suing her left and right because she didn't pay anybody. They took those billions of dollars in their war chest and spent all of it and didn't pay half the people that contributed. And Patty says, television. Yes. And Amy says, he didn't sniff them either. Yeah, the dancing ladies. Yeah. He might not have paid them, but he didn't sniff them either, like Biden would have. Aaron says, that is the name of the movie, Jake. I'm going to get you, sucker. Oh, okay. There you go. That's why I don't remember the movie title, because that is the movie title. Fab Daddy says, message retracted, which is Fab Daddy for, yeah, you're right, and I have nothing to come back on you with, so I'll just not say what I'm about to say. Kevin says, Fab Daddy, I heard Kamala was $20 million in the hole with her campaign funds. Ouch. Metallica told Trump to stop using their music. Well, you got spoiled sports. You got spoiled sports in every field, I guess. I guess Metallica doesn't want to be connected to Trump because it's pretty damning in the music business to be a Republican, just like in Hollywood. That clears it up. Metallica, the band known for their sanity and well-being and business-making deals, doesn't want Trump to use their music because it implicates them as being Republicans if he does. That is what tells you Trump is a bad guy? Do a little more digging, Fab. I'm sure you'll come up with something a little better than that. Amanda says, oh yeah, retract that one quickly, Fab. Metallica absolutely lets Trump use their music. How about that? Fab Daddy says, not anymore. They must have heard your tweets about Trump and decided to go against him then. Amanda says, since when, Fab? And Fab says, I retracted for an autocorrection. Sure you did. Doesn't matter what it said. Only matters what it looked like. Angela says, Fab Daddy, my roommate's uncle, Malvern Burrows, was a contractor for Trump. He passed away last year. Look up his obituary. He was a self-made man and very good friends with Trump. How about that? Malvern Burrows. Go look that name up, Fab Daddy. See what he says in his obituary. or what whoever wrote his obituary said. Amanda says, I bet you think Lee Greenwood don't like Trump either, right? And Lee don't want Trump using his music. Re1234 says, I'm Iran. The whole country? Wow. That's amazing, Ree. How did you fit? How did you fit in this chat? I'm Iran. Wow. I've never met a country before. Hello, Iran. I'm Jake. Sorry, my chat jumped again. 9:34. Wow. Amanda says, hi, welcome. Oh, no, not work. Says, I'm not married because I like peaceful mornings and I don't repeat myself twice. Very good. Oh, no. Ree says, how are you? I'm fantastic, Ree. How are you? Welcome to the show. Angela says, Ree, hello and welcome. And Ree says, Reza. I don't know what that means. Amanda says, oh, no. No. Amanda says, hi. Oh, no. I think you mean, oh, no, not work. Yeah. And Fab Daddy says, Lee Greenwood is a one-hit wonder. Well, his other hits would disagree with you, sir. Angela says, Ree, I am good. Reza, how are you? I'm guessing Reza is a greeting from Iran. Amanda says, LOL, wow, Fab. Debbie says, Fab Daddy, how many hits have you? Reza's another person in chat. Oh, I see it. Reza. Re12ZA34 is Reza. Got it. I understand now. I have been enlightened. The 12 and 34 is a figment of imagination. I didn't really see it. Sorry, my throat is acting up. Losing my voice. I may have to cut it off here for too long. Aaron says, who is Lee Greenwood, Fab? Well, I'm proud to be an American. Well, at least I know I'm free. Remember that song? Fab Daddy says he sings proud to be an American. Aaron says, Amanda says, Aaron Lee Greenwood, proud to be an American song. Angela says, Fab Daddy, with as much respect as I can muster, do you have Trump derangement syndrome? I'm tired of explaining it. You explain it, Fab Daddy. Aaron says, oh, they play that on bass every morning. It's a good song. That man's making a killing with Trump running for office. He's getting that song played everywhere, and it was a popular song before Trump used it. I'm proud. I'm proud for Lee Greenwood. He's killing it. His retirement is just growing and growing. Every musician would love to have a song like that. Amanda says, Angela, he has a serious case of Trump derangement syndrome. I'm the only one that believes in you, Fab Daddy. Everybody else has turned on you, sir. Amy says, sucking on Chico chips. Chocolate vanilla sucker. Nice. I'm sucking on cigarettes. Amy says, chocolate chups. Oh, okay. Choco chups. Debbie says, Fab Daddy, do you have a Grammy? Lee Greenwood does. Right on. One hit wonder my ass. Get this guy some Pepto-Bismol. He's got Trump derangement syndrome. Fab Daddy says, I've never liked Trump. Doesn't drink or do drugs, so his vice is scary secrets. Like his letter to Epstein said. Idiot. He didn't write that letter. What is the matter with you? If he wrote that letter, why do you think he's suing the people that said he did? Also, read the letter. If you've ever listened to Donald Trump speak, it doesn't sound anything like him. You can read his writing every day on Truth Social. You get an idea for his cadence, how he thinks, how he talks. That letter was not written by him. Angela says, dang it. It's sad to let so much hate for a person you have never met dirty your mind and soul. I agree, Angel. Debbie says, Fab Daddy, Jake has already said the letter was fake. Were you not listening? Amy says, hi, oh no, not work. Amanda says, LOL, Fab, you actually believe Trump wrote that letter to Epstein. Wow, you are completely deranged. Aaron says, Angela, you seem like a good soul. She is. Good soul and strong-willed. Just like I like a person to be. Amy says, Aaron, Angel is a good friend of mine. Amanda says, they tried to unalive him twice, Fab Daddy. You think they wouldn't try to lie about a letter? And that's only 2 times we know about. There's been a couple attempts we don't really know about. Angela says, wow, Fab Daddy, where is your receipts for your outlandish allegations? My point exactly. Soph Allen says, hi, guys. How are you guys? Fantastic. Soph, how are you? How's Australia doing tonight? Amanda says, Angela, he ain't got any. He listens to CNN and MSDNC and ABC. And The View. Amy says, hi, Soph. Aaron says, that's cool, Amy. Amy says, the video he's talking about. Amanda says, hi, Soph. And Debbie says, this Debbie would beat Kevin with that coffee mug. As long as you put some coffee in it afterwards, I think he'd be all right with that. Rich S. Hello, Sophia. Hey, Rich. What's up, brother? Kevin says, Fab Daddy will never change. Nope. I love him anyway, though. Angela says, the letter. The letter. Amy says, hi, Rich. Amanda says, hi, Rich. Aaron says, how's the disco, Soph? Walter says, Linda, you have the pole saw at your house? Question mark. Do you have a pole saw at your house? Kevin says, hello, Soph and Rich. Amy says, no, if he ducks, Debbie. Not if he ducks, Debbie. Soph says, Aaron, the disco is awesome. Thank you for asking. Olivia Maynard, welcome to the show. He liked the boys more. Who's he? Who are we talking about? Add some context, please. I don't know who you're talking about. Rich S. says, hello. Amanda says, it's not even Trump's lingo. Trump has never talked like that, and it's not his signature. Yeah, he shows his signature every time he signs a bill into law. You should look at it instead of averting your eyes for fear. Amy says, hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Olivia. Welcome. Amanda says, hi, Olivia. Debbie says, Amy, Kevin is short. I will aim low. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Kevin, you tell him I'm 6'2" from the waist up. Olivia Maynard says, hi. Hello. Welcome to the show. How are you? Please hit that like button. Subscribe, share, support, join the super chat. Rich S. says, hi. Fab Daddy says, I used to do drugs. I still use drugs, but used to also. I used to do drugs. I still do them, but I used to also. Aaron says, cool, Soph. I can dance. I cannot. I am not a dancer. I'm way too cool to dance. Amy says, Olivia, who likes the boys more? Yeah, who are we talking about, Olivia? Soph says, I actually went to the disco on Friday night. That's it. That's all I can do. P. Diddy liked the boys more than the girls, says Olivia. You're right. Amy says, probably, Olivia. Soph says, same. I can dance as well. Nice. Amy says, either way, whoever the victims are, it's terrible. Yeah, either way, we've had things going on for a long time in this country that should not be going on, then or now. Aaron says, that's cool, Soph. I got to make a video they asked me for one. Yep, you got to make that dancing peacock video. You should do it on roller skates. Take my advice. Get some of those glowy sticks and put them all over your body, around your neck, around your wrists, around your feet, and get some roller skates and then do a roller skate dance. That'll get them. I know what I'm talking about. I can't do it, but I know what looks right. Amy says, I don't dance. No rhythm detected. I got plenty of rhythm, but it's all in my upper body. Amanda says, so Fab, how about all the documents coming out about Obama and the Russian hoax and rigging the election? I bet you think Obama didn't have anything to do with it, right? It's funny. The people that accuse Trump of all that are the ones that actually are getting documents proving that they were guilty themselves. You don't see any of those kind of documents about Trump coming out. I'm thinking you might be behind the times on your Trump hate because even the haters are starting to come around. And Soph says, yeah, Aaron, that would be really cool. If anyone is sick right now, I will be praying for you guys. Thank you, Soph. I appreciate you. Aaron says, I got the time, and Soph, you should make one too. Maybe y'all could have dueling videos. I'll post them here if you make them. And email them to me. Fab Daddy says, oh, I believe it. If I've seen or read it on the interwebs, it's got to be true. Like those diving cats. I don't know what you mean by diving cats, but this isn't on the internet. This is in the news. Your news broadcasts, by the way. If you're talking about them finding out that Obama administration orchestrated the Russian hoax and that Obama and Biden both were complicit in rigging the election. Imagine that. But what about these diving cats? Angela says, oh, Fab Daddy, that hate inside you is ungodly. Are you anti-Semitic as well? Just a question. I like to know when I'm on a live stream with someone who wants my bloodline eradicated. Kevin says, Fab Daddy always talks a lot of shit. I'll explain it one more time. And if I'm wrong, Fab Daddy needs to tell me so. But I think Fab Daddy is secretly on my side. I don't know if that makes him a Republican or not, but I think he leans into the shit to give me something to talk about because nobody else is doing so. And it's fun to watch me react to nonsense. I think that's the game being played here. And if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I've been backing you up this whole time thinking that. Olivia says, inspecting teen girls and grabbing them by the pussy is not good. Well, nobody ever said it was teen girls. You got two things mixed up there. Trump inspected teen girls because he owned the beauty pageant that they were part of. They were willing to allow him to inspect them. The grab him by the pussy came from a statement made in a locker room to another dude while someone was recording a private conversation about women and how they react to rich men. And what he said was, they'll let you do whatever you want if you're rich. You can grab them by the pussy. They won't even argue because they know they're going to get money out of you. That's not true. That is very true. And that's what they were talking about. So get your conversations right, because those are two different things. So Fallon said, yeah. Aaron says, it makes good content, Kevin. Yeah, it does. Walter says, sorry, Jake. Between this format and horrible service, I gotta go. God bless all and good night. Thank you for being here, Walter. God bless you, sir. Enjoy your evening. All right. I'm going to play a song for you guys because I got to go take care of something over there. So enjoy this song. I'll be back.
Moonlit skies and fireworks. People laugh, people flirt all night long. But I just stare. So I drove down to the local bar where people come in their fancy cars to play their games. But I just stare. Then I saw you sitting there, all alone in that empty chair right next to you. I fell in love, oh baby. Boy, I hope you understand that I'm not a girl that needs a man. I got my life and all my plans, and if you were there, you'd just be in my way. And girl, it ain't gotta be like this. I'd give you everything with just one kiss. I don't care what you say, I fell in love with you anyway. Oh, Elizabeth, you take my breath away. At that bar where we first met, you smiled at me and my palms got wet, and you just looked away. But I just stayed. You said, been in love and it never works. I always end up getting hurt, and I ain't doing that no more. There ain't no way. Oh no, 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 no. You stood up to say goodbye, grabbed your hand with a tear in my eye, and I just walked away. just one kiss, and I don't care what you say. I fell in love with you anyway. Oh, Elizabeth, you take my breath away.
Alrighty then. Sorry about that. I had to go take care of some business. Soph asks, is anybody sick right now? Everybody's sick right now, Soph. Kevin says, good night, Walter. Update says, message retracted. Autocorrect. Me, no mind Semitics. No, not a Jew hater. We don't hang out with those kind of people there. Linda Davis says, yes, the pole saw is here, Walter. I'm just not tall enough or have the strength in my right hand or right side to get that branch down. In other words, go cut the branch down, Walter. Or send one of the boys over to do it. Aaron says, Soph, how is everything? And Amanda says, it's been 3 years now, Jake. Oxy, oh yeah. I've been off of it for 3 years now. How about that? Soph says, yep, everything is okay, Aaron. My mom is still really sick, but I am praying for her every day and every night, every single day and every single night. So that way she'll be feeling better soon. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Amanda says, good night, Walter. Aaron says, I'm with Soph. Right on. John says, look up R. Kelly, too. Right, R. Kelly. P on you. Angela says, Olivia, he didn't say that he did that grabbing. He said when you are rich, women throw themselves at you and would let you grab them by the pussy. If you wanted to, he did not lie. Women do that all the time. Yeah, also, that wasn't an admission of guilt. He didn't say he did it. He just said he noticed that behavior. Aaron says, Suge Knight. Right on. Another bad guy. A lot of those record labels are ran like gangs, kind of. A lot of thug behavior going on there for sure. Soph says, how's everything with you, Aaron? Olivia says, always has been. Dukes Hazzard was about smuggling booze and running from the law. Yes, it was. And I love that show. You know, I'm from Hazard County, Georgia. There is no Hazard County, Georgia. That was made up for the movie or the TV show. But they filmed it right down the road from where I'm from. The first season. Then they moved to California and did it all on the back lot. But the original Dukes of Hazzard was filmed in Georgia, where I'm from. Not too far from where I'm from. Amy says, peanut butter jelly time. Nice. I don't have any peanut butter and jelly. I think I got peanut butter, though. I could do peanut butter and syrup, which is equally as good. Do we? I do have peanut butter and jelly. Scratch what I said. It may be peanut butter and jelly time. It may also be time to quit talking because my voice is struggling. I'm going to hit it with this spray one time, see what happens. Lord have mercy. Amanda says, I'll make sure you get good pictures, Debbie. Thanks. Amen. Stuart Wax says, MAGA scum, QAnon cultists. Are you feeling better there, Stuart? None of the above. Do you just break into strange rooms and say nonsense, or you have a point? Stuart Wax. Amanda says, hi, Stuart. Soph says, yeah, I hope everything is okay, Aaron. And Amanda says, who, Stuart? And how about hi first? These children will never understand manners. When you walk into a room of strangers, you say hello first. Children. Aaron says, hi, Stuart. See? That's how you do it. Amy says, hi, Stuart. How long have you been a member of that group? Angela says, QAnon or cray-cray. Nothing they have said has ever come true. How about that? Stuart says, Obama and Tim Walz have more integrity in their little finger than your whole family, and you got. Well, I'm glad you know me, Stuart. How do you know what kind of integrity me or my family has? I've never met you before in my life. I would say you're judging somebody based on nonsense. 'Cause clearly, you don't know anything about me. Trump didn't win 3, you idiot. Well, he did. You idiot. It bears out in the numbers. He didn't become president 3 times, but he won 3 elections. Amanda says, LOL, Stuart, your Trump derangement syndrome is showing. Olivia says, the fact that Trump was friends with the Clintons and Epstein is proof he is bad. Clintons are free, but obviously bad. Well, Trump was not friends with Epstein. Trump rode on Epstein's plane one time, and billionaires hang out with each other at events. They weren't friends. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but Epstein was arrested one time. And the reason he was arrested is because Donald Trump called the law on him and reported him for his bad behavior. And that's what got him in prison in the first place. I'm sure you didn't know that, though, because the news doesn't cover that, but that's what happened back in the 90s. As for the Clintons, you're not wrong there, but everybody didn't know that until they showed their hand. So you could forgive somebody for thinking they were good people. You know, I used to like Bill Clinton when he was president because he seemed like a good president. And then all this stuff about him came out. Stewart says Epstein and Trump are both pedophiles. Do you have any evidence of that, or are you just running your mouth? I would like for you to show me the evidence of where any of that is true. Even Epstein, which we all know he was a pedophile, but show me some evidence that he was. I'd like to see it. Amanda says, prove it, Stuart. And Fab Daddy says, Trump used the American people to stop from going to jail. Really? You think that, huh, Fab Daddy? He wasn't running for president before they started politically assassinating him, right? He was going down for January 6th until he got elected. Wrong. No, they were hoping he was going down. Unfortunately, as you might have noticed, the Supreme Court ruled against all of that because it's unconstitutional. Amy says it's hilarious that Colbert has been canceled. That is hilarious. Amanda says, right, Amy. And Kevin says, Fab Daddy, you are funny. And also wildly wrong. Him being elected as president did not stop him from going to jail, Fab Daddy. You can go to jail and still be president. I hope you didn't know that. Because if you did know that, then you are clearly saying things that you know are wrong. Amanda says, LOL, Kevin. Funny looking. Over there looking down on Trump. And he lives in California, the most woke state ever. And Amy says, LOL, J6, the default answer from the left. Ignore the billions in damages that their side caused versus one slightly out of control, mostly peaceful protest on January 6th. There's a straw. Let's grasp it. It was worse than 9/11, Amy, didn't you hear? All those old people who forgot to bring their guns to the insurrection. The worst thing is worse than Pearl Harbor. Unbelievable. Fab Daddy says, let's talk about Hunter Biden and how he used his daddy's wealth or his daddy's power to garner wealth. Yeah, he did. And other things. Wealth and power. And now he's out there looking like a crazy man saying the opposite. Imagine that. And Kevin says, lots of drive-by trolling tonight, LOL. Yep, it happens. It's good for the channel, though. Let them come. They don't have any idea that I'm laughing all the way to the bank with their little statements. They're causing my channel to grow because of their presence, and they don't even know it. Patty says, those chicks on The View, like wrestlers, they create havoc, fake, and twist truths. Yes, they do. Kent Freeman says, Trump will tell you he is an asshole, but he doesn't have skeletons in the closet because he's as blunt as they come. And I met him as a 5-year-old kid running a lemonade stand, and again during my service. Nice. Yeah, I don't take Trump as the kind of guy that has skeletons in his closet. I think he's way too smart and way too clever for that. I'm not saying he's not guilty of some stuff. He probably is. All people that do what he does are guilty of something. But as far as evil goes, you put him up against Clinton's, it's no comparison. Amanda says, yeah, let's. And how they found Hunter's drugs in the White House. Rich says Colbert's Late Show was reportedly losing CBS $40 million a year as critics speculate politics drove cancellation. Shocker. Yeah, let's turn everything into hate Trump and see how it does for your network. It's a shocker that 90% of America don't want to watch that nonsense. Aaron says, Kevin, welcome to the wrench. This is a slow troll night. Kevin says, Aaron, LOL. Angela says, like USA and Ukraine being the largest sex child human trafficking hub in the world, all that money being sent over Ukraine, as Zelensky said he never got, all of it. Yeah, that money went somewhere else for sure. That's all. That's how the game is played. They move money around. It's an upward trajectory of wealth. All the money gets moved upwards. And then they hide it in different places. It's a big shell game. That's all that is. Fab Daddy says, if you think Hunter used daddy time, you should look up Trump's kids. I have looked up Trump's kids. They are upstanding young men and women, all of which have good aspirations and good heads on their shoulders. That being said, none of them are using Trump to gain wealth or power. They're all doing their own thing. Imagine that. That's not to say Trump would not give them whatever they wanted. They're his kids. But all of them are choosing to do their own thing, and they're all successful at it. That's what good children look like. I hate to do it, but I gotta go. My voice ain't gonna let me keep going. It's getting harder and harder to talk. I'll go a little bit further, then I gotta stop. Amanda says, definitely, Patty. Drama starter. And Melania is suing them for $100 million for defamation. Yep. Melania is getting in on the suing, too. John H. says, they're still clearing up the white powder trail of the White House with Hunter Biden cover-up. Yep. Yeah, we found cocaine in the White House. Oh, Lord, who could it have been? Couldn't have been the guy who's recently been involved in doing cocaine, could it? Wait, isn't the White House one of the most surveilled buildings in the world? Can't they see you coming from a mile away when you start heading towards the White House? Don't they know everything about you before you ever cross the front gate? How did they not find out who owned the cocaine? Amazing. Yeah, Kevin says, Fab Daddy, did Trump give his kids a blanket pardon? Apparently Biden didn't either, though. Apparently the auto pen did. Sounds like a good excuse to me. And Amanda says, what has Trump's kids ever done? I'm waiting and bring receipts. Yeah, what bad things have Trump's kids been up to that you've heard about? Because you ain't got no proof. I know that already. Kent says, time, and he was as friendly to me in my service time to this country as he was when I was a 5-year-old kid. And he even remembered me as the 5-year-old kid. How about that? That's beautiful, Kent. How lucky are you to have been able to meet the president twice? Once when he wasn't president and then once when he was. Amy says both sides are corrupt. Yes. But compared to most, Trump is not as bad as recent presidents. He's not perfect and should be treated like he is. Should not be treated like he is. No, you shouldn't worship Trump. But he is a good president, and you should give him credit where credit's due. You should not blanketly hate him for no reason. Amy says, that's cool, Kent. Angela says, Fab Daddy, I was at J6. I'm pretty sure my pictures and videos with timestamps tell a totally different story. I'm just saying. Yeah, right. Fab Daddy says, did you chant hang Mike Pence? No, and probably neither did anybody else. Except for the people that were trying to cause problems with their little noose. Their little fake toy noose. Those people were the federal agents that were planted in the crowd. They were not January 6 people, because nobody felt that way about Mike Pence. He is a little bit of a slimy bastard. Nobody wanted him hung. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Amy says, chat poll, favorite jelly flavor, grape or strawberry? There you go. Poppy. I should have said Poppy. Hey, it's raining like cats and dogs outside. I'm going to go outside in a minute and try to step in a poodle. Amy says, that's cool, Kent. Oh, I read that. Sorry. Amy says, I like strawberry better. Fab Daddy says, blackberry. That's not part of the poll, Fab Daddy. Vote. Or a good jalapeno jam. I bet that is good. I like pepper jelly for sure. I don't know about jalapeno, but I like pepper jelly. Amanda says strawberry all day. Aaron says strawberry. Debbie says between the two, grape every time, hands down. I agree. I like strawberry jelly. But there's something about Concord grape jelly, and it's just, that's the way jelly is supposed to taste. It's best on toast and everything. Aaron says, Debbie, real grape jelly is good. Is gold. Is good. Good. Aaron says, good. Yep. Amanda says, I don't like purple grapes. Retard. Purple grapes and green grapes are the same thing. They're just a little sweeter. It's the same difference between red apples and green apples. Amy says, thanks, Aaron and Debbie. Fab. And those are the choices. Grape or jelly. Blackberry sounds good, but you didn't follow the directions. Aaron says, what about green ones, Amanda? Angela says, no, and we saw nothing like the news showed at all. I have pictures and videos of the guy who took the Capitol Police helmet home with him. He said he found it on the lawn earlier that morning. Interesting. Amanda says, yes, I like the green grapes, but you should like the purple ones too. They're just a different color. They still taste like grapes. Fab Daddy says, rebel in the streets, not in the sheets. I'm a rebel 24/7. Streets or sheets. Or feet. Soph says, I love purple grapes. Aaron says, the green grape jelly. Interesting. Do they make green grape jelly? I'm sure they do. I just ain't never had any. Lord have mercy, the show is just getting bigger and bigger. And no way I can get to the bottom of this chat tonight. I can't turn off the chat. What's the number, by the way? I found it. 10:03. Amy says, LOL Fab. And Amanda says, yeah, I could probably go with green grape jelly. Amy says, Fab, elderberry jelly is good. I bet it is. Johnny says, I like gooseberry. Gooseberry. Fab Daddy says, I've only had elderberry wine. Never tried the fruit. I like plums. Like the Georgia plums, the little ones that grow on the bushes. Those are delicious. Not the big ones that grow on trees. Those are good too, but I'm talking about little ones that grow on a hill by my house in Georgia. A big bush, and they're delicious. Bill Bennett says, hope to see you all for Bible study tomorrow night. God bless Untethered peeps. Bill, God bless you, sir. Thank you for being here, my friend. Soph says, hey, Fab Daddy, how are you? Angela says, Fab Daddy, elderberry is very good for the immune system. And Amanda says, good night, Bill. Fab Daddy says, I'm good. Thank you for asking, Soph. Amy says, Lee Greenwood song gets copyright strikes on it. I bet it does. That man's making a killing on that song. Patty says, Lee Greenwood had a hit called In a Way I'm Glad It's Over. See? Not a one-hit wonder. A two-hit wonder. John says, I could crush a grape. Me too, buddy. I like grapes. Amy says, good night, Bill. See you tomorrow. And Soph says, Fab Daddy, do you like disco? Amy says 100 milligrams of Trumpadol. TDS. 100% of in your ass, Gaby. Fab Daddy says, ABBA, Bee Gees, I love the funk. Right on. Angela says, grape. And I haven't turned on Fab Daddy. I was a Democrat once, or I thought I was because most of my family was, but I don't have the values or the mindset for a Democrat. I'm conservative. Right on. Soph says, Fab Daddy, did I tell you my mom had cancer? Soph, we all know that your mom has cancer, and we all have prayed for her a lot. And we continue to do so because we love you. And Fab Daddy says, yes, Soph, you told me. Debbie says, Amanda, your trumpet all comment is the comment of the night. Ah. Nice. I think that was Amy Elizabeth, though, that said trumpet all. Soph says she has lung cancer now, Fab. I don't think that's how cancer works there, Soph. Amanda says, LOL, thanks, Fab. Thanks, Debbie. Sorry. Aaron says, we're all here for you, Soph. Right on. Fab Daddy says, fuck cancer. It's not good when it travels. Soph says, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Alina says, do you like UFC? Yes, I do, Alina. How are you, and welcome to the show. Yeah, I'm not much of a I'm not much of a sports guy, but I get into UFC. I get into UFC occasionally. Sorry about my voice. It's cutting out on me. Fab Daddy says, I like a good traveling companions. Amy says, hi, Elena, welcome. And Sophie says, Fab Daddy, I agree with you. Aaron says, you're welcome. We got you back. Sophie says, yeah, Aaron, I agree with you too. Amanda says, Jake can 1 and 3 step. I know he taught me, LOL. Well, you know, I could dance back in the day. I'm not much of a dancer now. A 1 and 2 step, not 3 step. I could do the 3 step too. Aaron says that 2 step. Right on. I even wore a cowboy hat back in the day. Amy says duct tape toilet paper tubes to your body. Add glow sticks. Right on. With roller skates. Soph says, I had apple juice this morning, which was delicious. Nice. Aaron says, I can dance on skates, actually. I'll bet you can. You remind me of the kind of guy that went skating a lot. Amanda says, LOL, Jake's rhythm is in his hands and ass. You know it. Amy says, toilet paper rolls and shaving cream. Aaron says, I like apple cider. I'd love for some hot apple cider right now. That'd feel great on my throat. Debbie says, I can't dance, but I can belly rub. That's all that matters. That's all the dancing I ever did anyway. Amanda says, LOL, Amy, that's fab. Amy says, Dickens cider. Dickens cider. From old cock in a box. Blue Stars 711 says, why is that every time Trump gets pinned to the wall, he reverts to Biden or Obama? I wonder why. Why is that, Blue Star? See if you can jump to a conclusion. Also, when has Trump been pinned to the wall, my friend? When have they ever called him on anything? Anything ever? And Mandy says, I can't dance either, but I can grind. Angela says, nah, bubble machines and colorful light up head bands and toys. What kind of toys, Angela? That's Carney secret showmanship skills. Right on. What kind of toys? What are we talking about, Angela? Amy says, hi, Blue Star 11. Welcome. Aaron says, if the dick inside her, Amy is not drinking it. Amy says 7-Eleven, sorry. Welcome, Blue Star 7-Eleven. Aaron says dick inside her. Amy says Blue Star 7-Eleven, both sides deflect to the other. It usually works that way. And Amanda says, I think Fab Daddy is secretly a Republican. I do too. Fab Daddy says, I'm never allowed to tell Jake he is wrong. Been playing his way for years. Brother, I thought I was wrong once, but it turned out I just had indigestion. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. John H. says, everyone, catch y'all soon in a few weeks. God bless you all. You're always in my heart. Please take care, everyone. I love you so much. Hearts and prayers. John, we love you too. God bless you, sir. We'll see you when you come back. We'll be here waiting on you. Take care of yourself now. God bless you. And we love you. You're in our hearts. Amy says, love you, Nugget. Come back soon. Amanda says, good night, Nugget. Hurry back, man. Enjoy your time with your family and getting back right. We will miss you, and we love you. Angela says, John H., much love. Much love and many blessings to you. Amen. Fab Daddy says, come back sooner if you can. Later. And Amanda says, oh, yeah, Elizabeth. Good song. Who wrote that? Amy says, Elizabeth, original song by Jake Johnson Band. Thank you. Fab Daddy says, Nose or Swan. Backwards. Nose. Oh, no. Bunch of nose. You're right. Amanda says, I'd give you everything but just one kiss. I think Fab Daddy beat you to it. Amanda says, I fell in love with you anyway. Oh, no. Heart. Angela says, Fab Daddy, the problem is you only bring your feelings and not facts with receipts. You twist the facts to fit your hate for something you do not know. That is no good, nor is it godly. It's ugly. Amanda says, well, that's part of the problem, Angela. I don't think Fab Daddy is a Christian either. I think he is. I think he's a Christian, and I think secretly he's a Republican. Or at least he leans in that direction. But he does give me good content to work off of, and I am grateful for that. Fab Daddy says, I'm a crying fox over here. Amy says, okay, Jake and Amanda, that's enough. Y'all got a show to do. Right? Patty says, $1 million song, my man. Thank you, Patty. God bless you. Aaron says, hugs, Fab. And Amanda says, LOL, Amy. I had to get my feel on. Debbie says, every time I hear Elizabeth, I remember meeting my husband in a bar and marrying him a week and a half later. Wow. Love at first sight. I'm with you. And I'm so glad that's what you interpret that song to be. However, Elizabeth in that song is a man-hating bitch. She's not a good person at all. But it is open for interpretation. So whatever you feel in that song, that's what it's supposed to mean. Aaron says, Debbie, that's so cool. Amy says, I met my husband on a blind date. He asked me to marry him 3 weeks later. We waited 3 years before we got married. Nice. Amanda says, that's so sweet, Debbie. Amy says, that is sweet, Debbie. Debbie says, it was lust at first sight, but I wouldn't give up the goods without marriage, so he married me. Nice. And good on you for keeping your virtue until marriage. God smiles on that sort of thing. Amanda says, you go, Debbie. I know that feeling. Jake was my first and my last. That's how I roll. I lay it down, it don't go away. Debbie says, peanut butter and honey and cinnamon is better than jelly. I agree that that's delicious. Amanda says, jelly and cream cheese on toast or Ritz crackers. Also good. Angela says, I lived in Hazard County, Kentucky for a year when I was in middle school. Nice. Well, Hazard has 2 Z's in Dukes of Hazzard, and it's a fictitious county. It doesn't actually exist. But Marietta, Georgia is where they filmed it at. And then they did that for the first season, and then after that they moved to Hollywood and did it on a backlot and painted the grass to look green and brought in a lot of clay to fill up the roads. You can actually see it if you go back and watch the old shows. You can see where the grass looks fake, because it is. Fab Daddy says, Debbie reminds me of Beyonce. Never gonna get it. And put a ring on it. Debbie says, Fab Daddy, my dad told me there are girls, guys, dates, and girls, guys, marries. And it was up to me to decide which one I wanted to be. There are girls that guys marry, and there are girls that guys date. It's up to her to decide which one she wanted to be, and I chose marriage. True. So true. Angela says, Debbie, my whole family taught me that. What's happening to society? The devil has taken control of society. That's what's happening. Amanda says, that's right, Debbie. I'm the same way. Corey Woodrow, welcome to the show. Trump is a pedo. All of the leaked files and documents. Really? You care to show any of them to me? Or are you just going on feel? Because I don't think you got any evidence there, sir. Between the two of us, one of us has actually read any of the leaked documents and footage. Johnny Be Good says, where's the evidence? Thank you, Johnny. Welcome to the show. Corey says, Trump is a rapist and a pedo. He's killing the United States. Well, clearly you're a child, because the United States is booming right now and doing quite good. And he was not convicted of rape, and he's not been accused of pedophilia. So you're wrong on all accounts there, buddy. And Amanda says, nowadays girls figured out they can get whatever they want by flat backing it through life. It's sad. I'm a pedo lover. Right, because you know me so well, Corey. Look in the mirror, my friend. Amanda says, prove it, Cody. or Corey, or whatever your name is. Amy says, hi, Johnny and Corey. And how about a hi, says Amanda. Yeah, when you walk into a room, say hello. Don't be a rude bastard. Look at Katie Johnson's testimony. I will. That's not true, Corey. Watch your mouth. Don't throw accusations against people you don't know. That's not good. Amy says, Corey, where are all these files? Stop with your misinformation. And Amanda says, wow, try to pull up some more bullshit. Amy says, inconceivable. Well, Patrick, you are more than welcome to come and try and shut me up. What? You're more than welcome to come and try and shut me up. You first. And when I get done wringing you out like a old wash rag and tanning your hide like you deserve it, then you can tell me what you think about it. Angela says, Amanda, pepper jelly and cream cheese on anything you can dip. Yes. And Amanda says, deranged. Of course they are. They're children. Keep smoking them cigarettes, nerd. I will. Idiot. I'm a grown man. I make my choices. If you think that my voice has any reflection of my cigarette smoking, you'd be incorrect. But it doesn't surprise me that somebody with such low IQ would be incorrect about a thing. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. Why don't you reserve your judgments for yourself and grow up a little bit? You don't deserve to be in this conversation. Wow, 18 whole viewers. Try 938. That's just 18 right this minute. All right, you're out of here. Amy says, Patrick, don't insult the host. Warning number 1. Amanda says, wow, Corey, all that coming from someone with absolutely no content on your channel. Amy says, how many people watch your shows, Corey? Good question. Amanda says, none, Amy. He don't have any content or subscribers. Amy says, don't tap that screen to like, please. Yeah, hit that like button, everybody. If you're going to talk nonsense, the least you can do is like the show. I don't need a CPAP machine, Patrick. I can breathe just fine. My vocal cords were damaged because of COVID-19. Has nothing to do with my smoking or my breathing. I'm quite healthy otherwise. Angela says, Amanda, they will never get respect or never know self-respect with that mindset. That's what is sad, right? Amanda says, everything is bullshit. Or gorillas eat bullshit. Trolls eat bullshit. Yes, they do. Amy says, press the call button, Patrick, and inform your nurses. Amanda says, facts, Angela. Amanda says, no, you are, Patrick. Cheese Cannabis says, Trump is for racist inbreds. All right, Cheese. Stop your nonsense. Amanda says, watch this child, Patrick. Amy says, Amanda Patrick discovers a new position. It's called wow when he turns his mom upside down. Amy says, hi, Cheese Cannabis, welcome. Amanda says, child that, Patrick. Apparently so, Corey. Amanda says, who, Corey? Reza Shebai says, hi. Hi, Reza. You're the second Reza I've had tonight. 966 views. Amanda says, how is he has blacks in the Trump Tower and working for him? Amy says, hi, Reza. Kevin says, hello, Reza. Amanda says, LOL, he has illegal holding facilities. Yeah. Says the guy who comes in here shouting nonsense. Yeah. You don't see anybody else in here doing that, do you? That makes you the asshole, Corey. Angela says, cannabis makes me want cheese. Cottage cheese and baby bells. Nice. Who said I didn't like any of that, Corey? I don't talk unless I have evidence to back up what I'm talking about. Where's yours? Amy says, cottage cheese and tomato sounds good. Blech. I will keep smoking, Corey. Thank you. Amanda says, prove it, Corey. Your favorite show is CNN, MSDNC, and ABC. And The View, too. You're an idiot, Corey. Debbie says, Corey, I agree with most of Trump's policies, and I find it funny. Trump lives in your head rent-free. Get help. Lady B's here. Hello, Lady B. Lady B says, I met Jimmy Carter after church in Georgia when I was a kid. Had pictures made of him and Rosalind Carter, and the security guards let me and my dad get pictures together. He wasn't the best president. But he was president. He was a president. Amanda says, hi, Lady B. Amy yawns at Corey's auto responses. Right? All right. I know this chat's going to jump as soon as I get near the bottom, but I got to go. I've had enough. Am I? Amanda says, so you like to murder innocent babies? Corey? Lady B says, Mr. Carter was kind and really made up for it later on with human homes he built. Humans homes he built. Humane homes he built. Right on. Angela says they couldn't find 1,800 people spread out across the entire USA, but they don't know who built that thing. I never saw that hangman thing at all. They got the guy that took the helmet got arrested eventually. Right on. Talking about January 6th, right? Yeah, they did have a noose out there, but it was little, and somebody made it on the spot out of cardboard. Not like it was a planned thing. Humana Home, says Lady B. Right on. Amy says, Corey, 65 million souls since 1973. Individuals lost souls. Pardon my language, but fuck you. Seriously. Abortion is murder, and you're horrible if you think it's okay. Amen. Lady B says, hey, everyone, I love you all so much. Heart, 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 heart. Hello, Lady B. We love you, too. Erwin Curtis says, AI, yes or no? No. Hi, Rachel. My chat jumped again like I knew it would. I got it. Patty says, Rosalind Carter was a wonderful first lady. Yes, she was. Amanda says, Carter was president when I was born. Ford was president when I was born. Yes, I'm old. Amy says, if you support abortion, you support racism. Agreed. Angela says, eugenics for sure, Amy. Margaret Sanger. Kent says, my meds are kicking in. I'll catch y'all later. Kent, thank you for being here. We'll see you next time, buddy. Amanda says, good night, Kent. We will be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Bible study. Come join us. Lady B says, Patty, she was. In person, Miss Carter was so kind and humble. Patty says, good night all. Thanks for the Saturday night company. See y'all tomorrow night for Bible study. Thank you, Miss Amanda and Jake. Patty, we love you and God bless you, sweetie. Amanda says, good night, Patty. Heart. Amanda says, looks like you're the coward, Corey. I'm not scared of you. Lady B says, see you Sunday, Patty. Amanda says, why are you calling yourself names, Corey? Amanda says, he was talking about the Democrats, dummy. He never said that. Angela says, light up princess wands, lightsabers, light up bubble gums. Yeah. Amanda says, prove it then, smartass. Angela says, light up toys for kids at the carnivals. Nice. Those are the toys you're talking about? I had something else in mind, but I'll take that. Amanda says, you watch too much lefty shit. Amy says, education does not equate intelligence. Skill sets and life experience gives intelligence and knowledge and wisdom. Amy says, you support abortion. You're fucking disgusting. Amanda says, that murder, not health care, moron. Right. Angela says, health care shouldn't include the taking of an innocent life. Agreed. Amanda says, it is you, dumbass. Abortion is murder, any way you look at it. Amy says, babies deserve to live. Women's body autonomy starts when she lays down to have intercourse. Don't want to get pregnant? Use protection, or better yet, abstinence. No accounting for good taste. Amanda says, then what is it? It has a heartbeat. It's a fucking person. A lot of women going against you there, Corey. I think you might have your politics in your ass. Debbie says, Corey, the only difference between a fetus and a newborn is time. Incorrect. The word fetus is Greek, and it means offspring. That's what the word means. It's the same word that we use today in English, child. Sorry. If you think that, you're an idiot. That a fetus is not a person. Reza Shabai says, hi from blue, white, and red. Hi, blue, white, and red. Be more specific. Italy. Okay. I don't know if that's Italy or not, but hello. Amy says, scientists have recorded the moment a spermatozoa enters an egg. A flash happens at that moment. It's the light of life. How about that? Lady B says, welcome, Reza. Amy says, hi, Lady B. Amanda says, fetus and offspring of a human or other mammal in the stages of prenatal development that follow the embryonic stage. In humans, taken as beginning 8 weeks after conception, absolutely human. Human at conception. Believe that. The moment that the sperm meets the egg, a new set of DNA is constructed. That new set of DNA does not belong to the father or the mother, but a unique individual life. It is alive, and it is human in species. May take a while for it to form all its parts, but it's still a person. Amy says, it's uter us, not uter me. Ha! Amen. Angela says, yes, Amanda, it's beautiful, the creation of human life. Lady B says, hey, Amanda and everyone, love y'all, heart, heart. Love you too, Lady B. Amanda says, Corey couldn't take the heat. Vera Lynn says, hi, hey, Rachel. How are you, sweetie? Amy says, if you mix up cake batter and put it in the oven, if you let it bake, it becomes a cake. Right on. But it's a cake before it's even put in the oven. When you go get the batter, what do you say you're making? A cake. You just have to mix the ingredients, but all the ingredients are cake. Amanda says, hi, Rachel. Amy says, hi, Rachel. Angela says, it is a chicken, Corey. No, it's a person. Hawk Production says, they can't show them because they don't exist. Those people have severe Trump derangement syndrome. That's right, Hawk. Welcome to the show. Amanda says, did Corey block me? Is he still talking? I don't see him. I don't think he can block you. You're the admin here. And Amanda says, hi, Hawk. Exactly. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, support, and join. Super chats are available in the chat box. And if you want to, you can do that by going to CashApp, $JakeJohnsonBand. And go to the Facebook page, Untethered Live Chillin' on Facebook. Untethered Live Chillin'. The link is in the chat. Fab Daddy says 2 and 5. Everybody practice time. Take it easy, buddy. Nice to see you tonight. Amanda says, good night, Fab. Fab says, be kind and stay hydrated. Definitely. Hawk says, subbed. Thank you, Hawk. I don't see your sub yet, but I appreciate it. Amy says, drive-by troll, Amanda. And Amanda says, thanks, Hawk. Amy says, hi, Hawk. Welcome. Welcome. There it is. Floating jewels. Amanda says, okay, Amy, thanks. And good night, Fab, says Amy. Hawk sent floating jewels. I don't know what that means, but thank you. 3 times. 10 floating jewels. I don't have any idea what that means, but I appreciate it, Hawk. Amanda says, thanks, Hawk. And thanks. Amy says, thanks, Jake. Amy, thank you. God bless you, sweetie. Truly, your gift is more than hundreds. It's very precious to me. It means a lot. Thank you. Amanda says, well, we left him. Jake got him. LOL. Release the crackhead. Hawk says, hi. I apologize for my voice. I'm suffering from laryngitis. I will get over it, though. Hopefully. Angela says, Corey, it's the legal right to sacrifice your own child for your own benefits. That's evil. Lucifer loves that action. Absolutely. Evil to the core. Amy says, what are floating hearts, Hawk? It's something you can do on YouTube, but I don't know what it means or how it translates to anything beneficial, but it is appreciated. Lady B says, dangerous humidity and heat every day next week in Alabama and Georgia. It's hot here, too. Amy says, why did Cheese Cannabis get timed out? I missed it. I don't remember now. I think he said some dirty words. Amanda says, was talking racist stuff, and the Kraken got him. Yep. Amy says, sorry, I'm dozing off. I understand. Go to bed, sweetie. I'm about to myself. I just about pushed as far as I can. Amanda says, go to bed, Amy. See you tomorrow. Kevin says, good night, everybody. Kevin, God bless you, sir. Good night. Amanda says, good night, hun. Heart, heart. And good night, Kevin, heart. Amy says, good night, Kevin. Love you. Amy says, good night, y'all. See you tomorrow night for Bible study. Good night, everybody. Amanda says, good night. Good night, Amy, hun. It's me, says, I'll save my opinion for the future. If I'm what? If you're S. I hear you, buddy. Amanda says, hi, it's me. And here's the Facebook page if anybody wants to check it out. It's me says, hi, Amanda. I'm biting my tongue for now, okay? You do that, it's me. It's going to get sore, though. It's better to just let it out. Amanda says, okay, it's me if you must. But I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's going to be lackluster when it finally comes out. You're going to be sad that it didn't have the effect you thought it would have. But it's better to get it out off your chest while you can. It's me says, because if I get blocked, I'll at least have scripture to back my opinion. Well, first of all, you're not going to get blocked for sharing your opinion. That's ridiculous. Why would you think I would do that? Second of all, if you have scripture to back your opinion, that makes you right. Understood? Problem is I don't think you are. Because I think I know what you're going to say. But I can't respond to that until you say what's on your mind. But know this, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it between now and then because I don't care that much. I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless of how you feel about it. I would hope that you would join me in trying to bring more people to God. But if you find a brick wall that you can't cross over, I hear you. It's not going to hurt me either way you do it. Put it that way. I respect your opinion enough to let you say it. Why would you think I would block you for it? Then you might be holding yourself in a little bit high esteem there to think that you would have that much effect. Amanda says, good night, everybody. See y'all tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for some Bible study. Much love, y'all. Angela says, good night, all, heart. And Amanda says, ain't gonna block you for the truth there. It's me. Right. And Lady B says, good night, Angela. I finally did make it to the bottom of the chat. Imagine that. Let's look at the poll. Looks like strawberry has it at 52%. Grape was only 33%. And 14% said, let's just do opium. Ah. All right. That's it. Strawberry has it. Amy, you win. There's the results of the poll right there. 21 people voted. Amanda says, good night, lady. And Lady B says, love you, Amanda, heart. And Amanda says, heart, lady. All right. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me on a Saturday night where it gets crazy up here in Untethered Live land for Politi-tics. Have a great night. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow night for some Bible study where I'll pull my hair up and get serious. Have a great night. Sleep tight. God bless you all. Be nice to somebody. Debbie says, I was today years old when I learned people have no taste in here. Right? All right, Debbie. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.